Ja Morant acting a fool. Shedeur Sanders comes back home. Deion says it's just common sense. And I think Jerry Jones might have just admitted he made a mistake. Y'all don't want to miss this week's recap of sports stories, man. Let's get into this thing right now. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you, man. Welcome back to another weekly sports recap where y'all know we jump right into this thing, and these are takes you won't hear anywhere else. Y'all do me a favor, follow me on the socials, link in the description. Grab the book Ashes Between Us if you want to know my take on how to navigate through the cigar lounge, man. Y'all don't want to miss it. It is live on the Amazon Kindle. Now, you guys ever watch somebody get everything they pray for and then blow it because they wanted to prove something that they're not? That's exactly what we're seeing with Ja Morant right now. And honestly, this might be the week that proves guaranteed contracts are the worst thing to ever happen to modern sports. But before we dive in, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment with who you think had the worst week: Ja Morant, Deion Sanders, or Jerry Jones. Trust me, you're going to have an opinion by the end of this one, guys. I got my notes right here because I don't want y'all to miss anything right here. So let's talk about Ja Morant. Talent without discipline. So Ja Morant, man, Memphis is $200 million man, and now has become the $200 million problem. This man is proof that money does not fix maturity. You give someone guaranteed money before they're emotionally ready, and you get entitlement, not excellence. It's not even about the gun videos anymore. It's about the fact that his coach has lost the locker room because Ja runs it. He's not competing to win. He's performing for social media and trying to show everybody he gangster, he real. Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. I'm keeping it real. I'm staying true to who I am. This new coach ain't gonna come in here and change the way I play. I'm who I am. Yeah, and you're not winning. And now people are seeing you. People are tired of the act. And here's the real truth nobody wants to say. Ja Morant doesn't want to be a franchise player. He wants to be a gangster celebrity. That's why Memphis needs to trade him now before the entire experiment collapses. Have y'all been seeing Ja Morant's play? Have y'all seen his three-point percentage has dropped? He's not playing any defense. And all of a sudden, guys, what trade value does he have? And I'm going to tell y'all like this, man, as a minority myself, when you get an opportunity, the worst thing that can happen, we've learned how to be poor, but we've never learned how to be rich. We've learned how to work for somebody less talented than us, but we never learned how to be in charge of people. And now all of a sudden, Ja Morant is making it bad for the rest of minority players who gonna get out of the hood, because Ja Morant didn't come from the hood. He just want to act like he did. He's coming from the hood. $40 million man gonna probably get another max deal that's gonna pay him 60, 70, 80 million down the road when it's time for him to re-up, and look at how he's acting. And this is in the city of Memphis, guys. Black city. Working class, guys. If you've never been to Memphis, what Ja Morant could represent for that city and that region, and he's blowing it. All because, do you want to be rich or do you want to be right? And unfortunately, he's already rich. So now he's choosing to be right. And anybody who knows, if you ever become rich, you got to choose. Because once you choose, at the end of the day, that decision going to be forever. And Ja Morant is choosing to be right instead of learning the systems and training that justifies that money he's making so that he could be an extension of the coach on the floor and not the antithesis of the coach on the floor. If you agree, man, drop trade him in the comments, because I want to see how many of y'all still believe Ja can grow up and lead, because I'm giving up on him, guys. Once a guy decides he wants to be in these streets, you can't bring him back to structure. Once he decides he wants to be out here being a part of what he thinks he's missing out on, you can't tell him that being on TV, running up and down, running behind a basketball is something he wants to do. Y'all got to remember, Ja making $40 million. But the dude on the block at the convenience store clowns him. And you know what matters the most to him? Being able to impress that dude sitting at the corner store that told him he done sold out, that told him he ain't real, that told him the white people got him running around like Kunta Kinte. That's what Ja Morant is listening to. And if you don't understand from a minority perspective, minorities are never impressed with success unless you're willing to lose it so you can prove to them that you still real, that you are not you have not turncoat for a corporate America lifestyle. That's what Ja Morant is dealing with. And I think Ja Morant has chosen, no matter what city you send him to, he's going to be in these streets. He wants to be a rapper. He wants to be a gangster. He wants to be a thug. Because this coach came from the European leagues and was winning championships. But in order for Ja to win a championship, he's got to change his game. Michael Jordan did it. Kobe Bryant did it. Tim Duncan. Everybody changes their game in order to win championships. Now, I didn't want to spend that much time on Ja, but y'all get down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Now, here's my next big story. Y'all know I am pro Coach Prime, pro Shedeur Sanders, pro Shiloh. I'm a big Coach Prime fan. Was Shedeur Sanders' homecoming appearance a headache or heroism? Let's move over to Cleveland for a second, guys. Shedeur Sanders is sitting on the bench. While Deshaun Watson is still out, Dylan Gabriel is new. Okay. Shedeur Sanders, y'all know, has the back injury. And then he shows up in Boulder after he was on a podcast saying he can't come to Boulder for homecoming because he had to get treatment on his back. He was getting ready for something very big. Well, what happened Saturday before the game, guys? Who shows up on a private jet in Boulder? Shedeur Sanders. Brought this person with him to give him treatment and all that kind of stuff. And y'all got to understand, Shedeur Sanders walks into Folsom Field. Shedeur Sanders gets a hero's welcome. But why do I think this is bad? That lets me know Shedeur Sanders has no joy where he's at. All that stuff he telling us about enjoying the journey and all this, you come back home because the new place kicking your butt. I tell people all the time. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Shedeur's dad is there. He should be able to come there. His jersey is retired. He should be able to come there. But at the end of the day, if Shedeur was starting, Shedeur wouldn't have been there, right? So Shedeur got to stay relevant. Shedeur's in the market. Shedeur's got to stay relevant to keep the fans stirred up. But the only reason you come back home is because where life sent you, you done got your butt kicked. And you got to come back with the wounds. Now, I was glad to see Shedeur come back. What I wasn't glad about is that you got the same act that you had when you came back. Now, guys, imagine somebody going off to college and then come back home and they acting the same, right? Shedeur should have come back knowing the media was going to be on him. Why did Shedeur get drafted in the 5th round, guys? It was not because of talent. It's because people don't like his persona. So if I'm going to come back, and I get it, people don't want to change. We were just talking about that with Ja Morant. People don't want to change. I get it. But Shedeur Sanders' problem is what people saw on the sidelines. He can get away with that at Colorado where your dad is. But outside of your dad, you don't have that influence. Now, I respect the family, but is this move a move that looks good, right? It's one thing to support your dad. It's another thing to remind an NFL franchise that your heart is still back with what they don't like about you. And guys, I had to learn that God's miracle was not that he opened the Red Sea. The miracle was that he closed it. Shedeur shouldn't have come back because all it did was remind the people and the powers that be why they don't like him. I like Shedeur. I like the flash. I like the style, right? I like the swag. But I also know in business in certain places, once they decide they don't like you, if you got swag like that, they can snatch it. And one of the things a lot of people don't realize is I deal with who I like, and then we build you from there. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But you got to be taught that this is how it is. Now, you can change it once you get there. Now, at this stage in my life, I build a system and see who rises. But when you are not basing your approaches on systems, you look for personalities. And Shedeur is being reminded that people hate his personality. And here's the irony, guys. While Shedeur's making surprise visits, Deion's at Colorado dealing with another blowout and an offensive coordinator demotion. The same man who was supposed to bring swagger to Boulder is now losing fans faster than he's recruiting them. Okay? Common sense, man, if you think Coach Prime made the right call with Juju Lewis starting, because apparently this is going to be the new buzzword in Colorado. Common sense football. We transitioning, guys. We transitioning. Y'all know. The thing about Deion, his message has always been bigger than football. He's preaching identity, swagger, and belief. But when you're losing by 50 2 weeks in a row, people stop listening. And this latest QB change, That's desperation dressed up as strategy, guys. Pat Shermer has been demoted, the offensive coordinator. And y'all remember, I did videos prior to where I said Shedeur should just resign from or retire from the NFL and come back and be the offensive coordinator. Now Pat Shermer's gone as far as being the play caller. Why can't Shedeur play? Why can't Shedeur call plays? Come back and work for your daddy, man. Some of y'all better realize your success tied to who you connected to. Everybody is not meant to be out there flying alone. And Shedeur is an example of this. Shiloh still hadn't gotten another tryout from a team, right? Cameron Silverman Craig was at the game. He cut his locks. He's on the Jacksonville Jaguars practice squad. You mean to tell me Shiloh, who played with him, can't be on a practice squad? And what I'm trying to tell y'all is I've learned I stay connected to my mentors. I stay connected to the people who led me because I realize if I disconnect, I think I'm out here better than what I actually am. Shedeur's not getting any results without his father. So now Juju Lewis, Deion's season is over. They would have to win out to go to a bowl. Juju Lewis gets promoted to QB1. Right? Deion's doing this because I think he's been told that if they don't win out, he's fired, guys. That's why you got rid of Salter and you got rid of Shaw. If Colorado's season does not finish strong, Deion is not making it to next fall. Hit like if you think Deion needs a reset because I still believe in what he's building. I just think he surrounded himself with too many men that he's allowing to do their own thing. Because when minorities get taught about leadership, we don't like oppressive leadership, right? But leadership requires micromanagement. But when you don't grow up in leadership, and especially as a minority, you say, when I get promoted, I'm going to let my leaders and my managers, I'm going to let them do everything. No, the leader and manager needs to be told what to do even more than the person who's not the leader. And that is the one thing you learn about this whole life, guys. Everything you got taught when you weren't in authority does not work when you get an authority. Everything you got taught when you were poor, you got to learn how to be rich when you're poor. Deion wrote a book about leadership. John Maxwell wrote the foreword. And here's what's happening, guys. He's letting his coordinators do whatever instead of telling them what to do. And that's what you learn about this life. And because Deion is letting them thrive and got this faith message and trying to encourage people and develop men, that's why I think Deion is out of there after this season. Now let's finish off with Jerry Jones, guys. Jerry Jones trades for Quinnen Williams from the New York Jets. A move that tells me one thing. He's trying to fix Micah Parsons leaving with a Band-Aid. This is vintage Jerry Jones, guys. Instead of rebuilding, he's trying to buy back relevance. But the Cowboys' problem isn't talent, it's trust. You can't buy leadership and you can't trade for chemistry. If you're a Cowboys fan, still America, comment America's team down below. Because at this point, it feels more like still America's headache than still America's team. When I saw this trade and I watched the Monday night game, guys, the last Monday night game against the Cardinals, the Cowboys are headed nowhere. Now, Dak Prescott is playing great ball. But I think Jerry Jones realizes that people are now really speaking with their wallets, speaking with the foot traffic, speaking with their attendance, man. The Cowboys are becoming irrelevant. I've never seen so many 1:00 games for the Cowboys in the last 3 or 4 years. Cowboys used to always be the game of the week or the Sunday night game. How do I know? I used to attend them. So I'm telling y'all right now, this Quinnen Williams trade shows that Jerry Jones has realized that maybe I should have kept Micah Parsons. Now, I'm the one who told him to trade Micah Parsons. I was in that camp. But I just think Quinnen Williams is not the answer. And I think you got to go bigger than that because the Jets had just won one game, I think. So it's not a big deal. Now, I know Sauce Gardner got traded to the Colts and all that kind of stuff, but it's not a big deal that you got Quinnen Williams. But it puts you in the news. But I think Jerry's having a problem because people aren't buying it anymore. Again, guys, y'all let me know what y'all think about the Cowboys, man. I think this was a bad deal from Jerry. And I think after this season, I think Jerry going to turn this team operation over to his son. I think this right here, he's not getting the credit that he thinks he deserves. I think Quinnen Williams is washed. That's just my opinion. Okay. I don't think he's going to thrive well in Dallas. And let me tell y'all why. These boys get treated like kings in Dallas. When he was in New York, he's competing against the Giants. Right? Don't get me wrong. There's diehard Jets fans, but the Giants are the team that rules that city. Now he's coming to Dallas where you are royalty in Dallas as a Cowboy. And I think you're about to see a guy who's going to get more caught up in the Dallas lifestyle than what's on that grid out there. Now, so here's what this week really showed us, guys. It doesn't matter how much you're paid, how famous you are, how much hype you've built online. Without discipline, humility, and accountability, it all falls apart. Ja Morant's proven it. Deion's living it. And Jerry Jones, he's been showing us for the last 30 plus years. Before you go, man, tap that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss next week recap. We break down what's real, not what's trending, because somebody has to tell the truth in sports, and I'm here to do it, man. Thank y'all for listening. Y'all make sure you get down in the description. Follow me on the socials. Man, appreciate y'all tuning in. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Cop the book on Amazon, Ashes Between Us. And until next week, guys, we gonna holler.